Buttonholes. You are going to find you have a nice selection of buttonholes for different types of projects, fabrics. You're going to start here at stitch number 21. This is the standard buttonhole, but from 21 all the way down to 27 in row 1, you've got different types of tops and bases depending on the type of button. If it's a button with a shank, then you do the keyhole buttonhole. The one that has the number 27, the one with the dotted line, that would be for like leather or suede where we don't want to cut away the fabric. We just need really an opening to cut into. So we're going to walk you through how to put the foot on, which feet to use. And remember, the sewing advisor will guide you based on your fabric selection, and it'll just pick the right buttonhole. So I always use the sewing advisor when I have any questions on which one to use. So on screen, let's go ahead and tell it we have a woven heavy fabric, and the buttonhole is technique number 7. So it's going to tell me I'm going to work on some woven fabric, and I'm also going to use technique number 7. So it's gone ahead and picked out a buttonhole for me. It also shows me I should reduce my tension from 2 to 4. So anywhere in that lower range. So I'm going to turn my tension down to 3, just right here. And it tells me leave my pressure at 5, no problem. The foot has the picture. This is the one, and if it has that little kind of wheel look to it, then we're going to be using the one that plugs in and it automatically does the whole buttonhole for us. So I love that. So once you plug this in, your screen will change slightly where we can actually put in what size of button we are actually working with. Now follow me down to the small part of the measuring tool printed on your machine. Notice that there is a dotted line for a button. So this way we can measure how big of a button hole we need to make based on our button. Now it is going to be in the metric, so go ahead and do the millimeter size here. So 0 to, I am saying, are we about 12, 13, right in there. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'll show you how to put that foot on next. The automatic foot is the one that most people are going to use for doing buttonholes. It's just the easiest. But we also have one that is a manual buttonhole. Some of the buttonholes are going to call for this one. You'll notice because it doesn't have the indication for the one with the little wheel. Before I put it on, I'm going to show you. So leaning over here on the left side, the red wheel is going to move across your fabric. And as it moves, it counts how many stitches it took forward. So it does the perfect amount on the way back. There is a white crown on the wheel. The last thing we'll do before we put the presser foot down is make sure that that has not moved off the starting point. The little hash mark there, line up the two. You don't have to be too crucial, but the machine does know. If it cannot see that white crown, it will give you a message on the screen to fix that. And also too, I do it last because once I put my fabric in, it kind of tends to move that a little bit off if I've tried to set it before I put it on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We'll attach the foot first, snap-on foot like you're used to, and then right up here, you'll have to maybe peek underneath the first time or two that you do it, but once you kind of know where it goes, you can feel for it, and then just make sure you plug it in all the way. Give it a firm push up there. If you don't do a firm push, you will notice because when it stitches down and stitches back, it keeps going. It doesn't actually ever turn around and do the buttonhole. So we call those runaway buttonholes. You get one of those, just make sure, well, plug it in a little bit more. Okay, this buttonhole is also going to start here and stitch away from us. So your starting point needs to be placed closest to your fabric. So if you're going to start here, you're going to just, well, not be on the fabric in just a few stitches. So where our starting point is here, there's actually red lines right here on the foot. If you are measuring out from, say, a 1/2 inch or a 5/8 of an inch from the edge of a side of a placket, that's a great way to do. Okay, so I've moved my red wheel. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm looking over here, I'm setting the white crown to be at the little hash mark. Lower down the presser foot, And the last thing, we're going to go over to the screen side over here. There is a measuring setup that has come up. So now, right now, it just starts at 16. That's just like a default length. So we had, 12, 13 length of buttonhole, or for the button. So just arrow down until you dial in the exact length that you need. Come on back to this side. All you need to do is step on the foot control. Now, after the locking stitches, it's going to look like it's just stitching backwards, but just let it do its thing. It's going to stitch forward again, doing the tack of down the left-hand side. Then it's going to do the tack at the top and then come back down the right-hand side. Just keep your foot on the foot control until it comes to a complete stop. It locks it, and we're done. Already, look. So we'll pull that out, cut our thread, and we have a perfect buttonhole. So I'm going to show you a couple other versions of this next. Buttonhole number 25 is the keyhole buttonhole. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, put my fabric in, set my white crown so it's even with the mark, and then go ahead and lower the presser foot. Now this one's going to look a little bit different. So I've gone ahead and dialed in my stitch length of 13 again, so it knows what to do. Just let it do it. Now keyhole buttonhole, you'll notice on if you have a coat with a really nice button on it, that's going to need, it's usually going to be a shanked button, and so it needs a place to actually stitch. And you just really let it do it once, because once you see how it stitches, you're like, oh, well, that was easy. All right, then we take a look here. So this little extra opening will allow for that thicker base of a shanked button. Another one that we can do is stitch number 23, buttonhole number 23, and that is going to require the other presser foot, the other buttonhole foot, the one without the automation. So when you put this on, you're going to see on the screen a picture of your reverse button. That's because you are going to need to tell it when to turn around. Buttonhole number 23 is actually a stretch buttonhole. This is great for knit fabrics. It's not as heavy. It actually has a little give in it. Okay, so go ahead and start stitching. I would have marked actually both the beginning and end on my fabric. So I'm going to just go ahead and stitch back a little ways. When I get to the mark of the length I need it to be, touch the reverse button one time. So now it knows, so it does the tack at the top, and now it knows when and how to travel forward. And all you have to do is let it stitch, because it knows, nope, it doesn't know, sorry. Touch the reverse button when you want it to tack, and it will finish off. So I overshot this one here. So we have a little longer. So you're going to do reverse button at the top, reverse button at the bottom. But notice the little X's and zigzag? That actually is for the stretch of the fabric. Should we try one more? How about 27? That's the one for straight stitching. It also is, it actually says foot A, but I'm going to just use this foot because it won't matter really. It's just the straight stitch one. Go ahead and touch reverse when you get to the lengthy one, and it comes back down. And then go ahead and touch reverse at the base there. And it locks it. Oh, and stops. There we go. How simple is that? So that would actually be nice on any type of leather or suede type fabrics. So why did we adjust our tension to do buttonholes? Here's why. When you look really close, you have a nice pretty satin stitch. It's even kind of raised, those little satin areas raised up. And on the back side, we've pulled all of our top thread to the back. And you notice it has a little bit more of a rougher look. You don't want that showing on the top side. So that's why we want to kind of adjust the tension, make the bobbin stronger and pulled to the back side. Just remember when you're done doing buttonholes, return your tension back to your normal setting. So a corded buttonhole is going to be done. I've put in stretch heavy fabric, so fabric letter F, and buttonhole number 7. And it's having me use a regular presser foot, regular buttonhole foot. And I'm going to show you on the feet, and you can do it with the automated one too, is it has a little kind of tail back here, a little nub. What we're going to do is we're going to take a loop of cord. Now, and on the screen, it actually shows you kind of a picture of a cord going over or under the buttonhole. We're going to take a loop, divide it in half, put the loop over the little tail, and it's going to run right underneath. Now, if you flip it over, a buttonhole foot has channels. That keeps the satin stitches running evenly, and that cord's going to sit right in there. Okay, ready? So we'll go ahead and set this in. Put the cord underneath. Kind of need 3 hands, but once you kind of get this figured out, it's not hard. Once you put the presser foot down, the foot will kind of hold this cord. So we are making our own length to this for this buttonhole. So it's going to do the zigzag up over the cord on the left side first. Kind of drags the cord with you. That's the nice part. So you can make this any length you need. And then touch the reverse button when you're ready to turn around. So do the tack at the top. Now it's coming over the cord on the right hand side. This is a manual buttonhole, so we need to stop when the 2 satin stitches are even. Touch the reverse button one time, and then go ahead and let it finish. Attack and the lock, and it will finish. Perfect. Now we have one more thing to do here. If it's still hooked over the foot, just kind of unhook it. This is what it's going to look like. This is great. First off, you get a little bit more of a covered look, a little bit more raised, but it's going to prevent any of the fabric from stretching. Take one of the tails from the cord, and we're going to pull this loop right down until it is hidden at the top of the buttonhole, kind of inside there. And then you're going to take your scissors and trim really close to the end here. And once you trim them, nice trim. If any part of that cord is still sticking out, just give your buttonhole a little pull, and they will kind of slide up inside all the stitches. And isn't that gorgeous? I love doing quarter buttonholes. It makes me really look professional.